All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. If you're just coming in to us on a Saturday morning, what we're doing is networking on the air. And my name is Rex Perry, and we've been doing this for 16 years as of the 1st of July. Woohoo! And it's real estate. We started in 1999, and it has really gone through a roller coaster in the history of Arizona here, and we're coming back strong. And the interest rates have just come down. Our co-host is?
Yeah, Travis Wicks from Fairway Independent Mortgage, your financing specialist.
And we've got 30-year fixed conventional, where about around 4?
30-year fixed, about 4.25. FHA, probably around 4%. Yeah, it's just incredibly low.
Excellent.
And that's definitely going to stay like that for a while. After the Fed meeting last week, or earlier this week, we're going to see some things stay low for a while.
Excellent. Our next guest is Dan. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, my name's Dan Mullarky. I'm an associate broker with West USA Realty, predominantly focus on the Scottsdale and North Phoenix market.
Excellent. And you've got a listing we want to talk about. Tell us about that.
I do. Right now I have a listing actually up in North Scottsdale. It's in a community called The Edge at Grayhawk. Price point is $155,000, so amazing price to kind of get into this area. If you're familiar with the area, a lot of golf, a lot of resort-type activity in the community itself. So it's really a nice listing, great price, and it's available now.
Now, let's, first of all, kind of give us a little bit more of a walk-through, square footage, single-story, kind of walk through it for us.
Sure. As far as the size goes, it's a 1-bed, 1-bath. Square footage is right around 800. So the price per square foot's just under that 200 mark.
Wow.
Community was built in 2001, and it's actually a second-floor unit. So it's kind of tucked back in the community, no street noise, anything like that. So it's real nice location. And again, the community itself. It's got a world-class fitness center, 4 pools, hot tubs, workout classes, on-site chef, game rooms, concierge.
It's a resort.
It is. I mean, it's literally a resort. So
and list price again?
List price is $155,000.
Wow. And tell us about this one.
Yeah, I mean, median house prices in Arizona right now are just under $205. So I mean, this is a pretty good deal in North Scottsdale. Primarily, you're probably going to see most like conventional 5% down or FHA 3.5% down. So payment-wise, you're going to be anywhere from $900 to $1,000 on this thing.
You can't rent this place for that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
This is a smoking deal in a resort.
Oh, yeah.
And young professional singles would love something like this.
Completely. I mean, I live pretty close to that area out there, and those condos are hot commodities for sure.
And so, again, if you want to get a hold of Dan to get a showing on this, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can reach me on my cell anytime, 480-296-5959. And I have a website, M is in Mullarky, groupaz.com.
Excellent. And you would suggest that people get pre-qualified with Travis?
Of course. Travis is great. No, he does a great job.
Yeah, Dan and I actually just worked on a deal. We did a simultaneous close. A client was selling their house in North Phoenix and needed that cash to close on a new property. So we scheduled it, made it perfect, where we, basically closed on one house and on one day and bought the house on the same day. So it was great.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting story. I always like to get the details. So first of all, the seller, who was also a buyer,
Yep.
Older couple, single. Tell us a little bit about their background a little bit.
Well, I've actually gone through this, it seems like a lot this year. A lot of people with the two-story homes are trying to get into single
story.
homes.
That's getting popular because, hey, I have a two-story. It gets exhausting.
Right, exactly. They have kids, growing families, and
when you get older, you don't want to be going up and down like that.
So
that was their main motivation, was basically getting into a single story.
Exactly.
Was it a move-up price on that?
A little bit, but not a whole lot.
Really?
Not a whole lot. They had some equity. They bought at the right time with the home that they sold. So
they were able to. Did they get a lower mortgage because of that?
They did. They actually got a lower mortgage. I mean, they had a good significant down payment payment on their house. They did, like Dan said, they had quite a bit of equity in their other home.
We're getting back to a situation. See, again, having done the interviews for so many years, there was a guy named Kelly Judy, and he's still very successful, a real estate broker out in Mesa, and one of my first interviews years ago. And, he's not on the, posters everywhere, and a very successful broker over in the East Valley. He had a whole plan of basically 3 or 4 moves, and by the time you get to the 4th or 5th move, your house is free and clear.
Right.
And now the crash really affected people, but he had people that stuck with it, and they're now doing this thing where they finally got equity. They're very disciplined.
Yeah.
Very disciplined, but if you can get your house free and clear, that's your major monthly payment. Now, I know you don't want to hear that, Travis. I'm sorry, my sponsors over here going, Rex, what are you doing? But this is an example of what they're doing. They were able to qualify, and you did the simultaneous close. Yes. Now, how many square feet did they get when they purchased?
They moved up. They didn't move up a whole lot in square footage, but, of course, with a single-level home, the footprint's a lot larger.
What kind of price?
They sold their home for $225, and they moved up to a $275 house with a pool.
Wow.
Much nicer home, definitely more of a move-up type home. And actually, there's a program that I'm doing now that kind of caters to this, MoveUpArizona.com. And it specifically saves people when they go to sell their current home, and then gives them a little bit of a credit when they buy their next home. So it helps them on both ends.
By hiring you to list their house, you help them find another place.
Correct.
And then you give them a little bit of discount.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how much did they borrow on that? Can you remember on the loan amount, price approximately, what they went on?
It was a little bit over $200,000 or so. Yeah, the loan was maybe low, mid twos. And
monthly payment approximate? Can you remember that on that?
I think it was a little over $2,000 or so.
It's still fantastic for that. It's about $100 a square foot is the number.
Yeah, I mean they got into a 4.25% rate, 30-year fix. I don't remember with taxes and insurance and so what they were all in at, but it was from what I remember, I believe their monthly payment was they got into a little bit, like you said, slightly larger house. Their payment was less, and so it worked out.
But got more equity.
They got more equity.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. Yep. Now, MoveUpArizona.com.
Yep.
If you want to talk to Dan about this, because basically what you're saying is you'll go in and analyze where they're at, what kind of equity they've got, and then help them transition to a move up.
Yep, exactly.
Because we're getting to that point where we're starting to get in that market.
Or even move down. I mean,
downsize.
Either way. Yeah. So it basically it's set up to help on both ends of the transaction, and it makes it seamless.
Excellent. So let's get a phone number if people want to call you and ask you about that.
Sure. It's 480-296-5959.
And real quickly, want to mention you're working up in the Northeast Valley, too. What's the name of that community up there?
Norterra. Yep.
Norterra.
Yeah.
So it's east of the I-17?
Just east of the I-17, Happy Valley, between Happy Valley and Carefree Highway.
And you got to have a listing coming up there, approximate price eventually up there. What do you think?
Actually, I have a couple homes. I don't really have them set up yet, but they're coming. So
it's a beautiful area. Call you about that?
Yep, exactly.
Phone number again?
480-296-5959.
And MoveUpArizona.com.
Exactly.
Contact?
602-753-1402 or www.traviscwicks.com.
Thank you both so much. We got music blasting in my ears here. It's coming up here. I got to get the show wound up. 123bz.com. Everybody, go out. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you next week.